What's going on, everybody? Today we got another top 10 list coming your way, but not my top 10. Today we're going to discuss my wife, her top 10 favorite horror movies. Now, I don't really remember too much of if I've discussed this in any of my past videos, but my wife is not the biggest horror fan. She tolerates it because I myself am just, it's my favorite genre of movie. Halloween is my all time favorite film. I am absolutely enamored with horror movies. It's just been my go to since I was a little kid. So when I met my wife, I had to, I started shoving it down her throat, and she really thought I was a little too obsessed and maybe taking it a little too serious. But I have yet to turn into a Jason, Michael, or Freddy. I haven't tried to kill her yet, so she seems like, okay, he just enjoys it because that's what he's into. So I gotta be grateful for that. But there's been plenty of horror movies that I've shown my wife that she hasn't been interested in. Plenty that she's like, oh, I could rewatch that. Or, the countless amounts of movies I've taken her to see in the theater where I have been happily able to enjoy it with her. And then some, on the other hand, such as the recent Scream films and the Halloween trilogy, where do not talk to me, don't acknowledge me, you're sitting next to me, I need to focus. And that's kind of how it was. Same with Star Wars, where I'm here for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to figure out what's going on, and I just take it really, probably way too serious, and she still likes to make fun of me for that. So let's get on into her top 10 favorites. All right, so we're going to start this off here. Now, these films are not going to be really in any particular order. This is just, I got her to give me what she thinks is her top 10, and I'm just going to give them to you in kind of a random sporadic kind of order. So, yeah, I find this pretty funny. Scream was one of the first horror movies that I did show my wife for obvious reasons, and what is there to be said? Absolutely nothing. Pure perfection from top to bottom. It's just everybody loves it. Not everybody, but Scream being the first horror movie I ever saw, and one of the first horror movies, probably one of the first five that I introduced my wife to, and she knows that I hold an extremely soft spot for this film, so I think she accepts it, yeah. Then we have number 9, The Craft. Yeah, and my wife says she hates Nev for obvious reasons, but yet she loves The Craft. Yeah, I don't know about that, but oh well. Here we go. Halloween. Yes, the first horror movie I ever introduced my wife to was John Carpenter's Halloween, my all-time favorite film. I mean, it just she gets why the Halloween franchise is where it is for me and why this movie is cemented in my life forever. And I can't thank her enough for that. Then we have Halloween 2, arguably just one of the greatest all-time sequels. I mean, I'm a big fan of Friday the 13th Part 2. I'm a big fan of Scream 2. I'm a big fan of Freddy's Revenge. Maybe not so much the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, but Halloween 2, it feels like a continuation. It feels like you're really just picking up where you left off, and I really feel like she enjoys that and likes to see the conclusion of the story the way, originally John Carpenter really didn't want this, but he settled on it and gave us this. Now, this next movie might shock some people. I don't know how the hell my wife enjoyed Season of the Witch, but it makes me very, very happy. Because I don't think I showed her this right away. I waited a couple of years before we watched Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Because this has nothing to do with Michael. It's totally different. but she did like the story, and Colonel Cochrane being that diabolical villain, I'm very, very happy she has the same kind of appreciation that a lot of other people do. Probably, if I had to guess, my wife's favorite would be Happy Death Day. I mean, I really did enjoy this movie. I went and saw this in the theater. My wife was not with me for this, because she was still at the point where, no, horror movies are evil. We can't do that. I'm going to be freaked out. And then, she certainly wasn't, because then we saw Happy Death Day to You. She really, really, really enjoys these two films. It feels a little less hectic for her, and I can be very, very appreciative. So we tend to watch these yearly. I Know What You Did Last Summer. It makes me extremely, extremely happy that my wife also understands why this film in particular is very special to me. Not just because of Jennifer and Sarah, but that, because of that post-Scream boom being what got me all into things. This was another movie that I showed her right away, and it was a little more on the soft spot. I would introduce my wife to this movie before, let's say, I Spit on Your Grave. Now, a little controversial whether you'd consider this more of like a thriller, sci-fi, or a horror, but The Invisible Man, my wife is a big fan of Elizabeth Moss, and she really liked the Handmaid's Tale, that show on Hulu there. I tried watching that a couple of times. I fell asleep most of the time, but I thought this just felt very, very intriguing. It caught my attention immediately, and she blew it away in this. This was a great film, and we will continue to watch this on a yearly basis. Now, lastly, but certainly not least, is Silence of the Lambs. Once again, some people might not classify this as a horror movie, but I have that trilogy in my horror collection. That's where I throw them. But I remember watching this as a little kid, always thinking, oh my gosh, Hannibal Lecter, he's a spooky dude. But this is just a fantastic overall film. So that's another reason why I think my wife actually really likes it. And that, makes me happy, because we could watch this movie. I could watch this every single day till the day I die. So there you guys have it. Like I said, that's my wife. That's her list, her top 10. My top 10 would probably consist of a few of the same, but not all 10 of those. I certainly do enjoy every single movie on that list. But it makes me happy that she was willing to, do this with me. It is pretty fun, because I want to come up with new, different ideas. I don't want to do the same kind of top 10s that everybody else does. I want to be a little unique and not steal ideas from other people out there. But this was fun for me to do, and let me know if you guys have a significant other that's not so much into horror, that you've kind of got them into it a little bit, and that they do have a soft spot for a few of these movies. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys know of anybody that's got their top 10 favorite horror movies that's not so big of a fan. But, just feel free. That'd be awesome. Like and subscribe, and, tune in for more, because I got more coming, and I'm excited, and I got some fun ideas for you guys. Until next time, take it easy. Peace out.